The topic this week was inspired by watching a friend of mine struggle with something in a pattern, and that was, it's a hat where the hem is folded and the stitches from one side are picked up. And she was trying to work this in a very dark colored yarn, and I thought, well, other people probably have the same problem. Now, when you do something like this, and by the way, there are several different ways to do this, which I will address in my blog itself. But in this case, you cast on, and then at the turning point, you work a row of reverse stockinette, and then you continue on to the point until the sides are the same length, and then you join the two. Now, you could seam it, you could do a provisional cast on, you could do double knitting. Any of those methods are going to work, and I'll go into more detail in my blog. Now, what we are actually going to be picking up is we're going to be picking up these little loops from the cast on edge. Okay, that's where we're going to be inserting our needle. Now, getting started is always a bit tricky because the first loop is kind of hard to see. It's going to be right there. And the last one is a little tricky to see as well. So to get started, I'm going to fold it. I'm going to insert my needle into the stitch, and then I'm going to insert it into the cast on loop from the very first stitch, which is that guy. And then I am going to knit them together, and I'm going to take that stitch off. And basically, that is what I'm going to continue to do the whole time. Go in, that was George walking by, whoops, sorry. And pick up the loop, and knit them together, drop them from the needle. Now, if we turn it over on the other side, you can see that I'm getting kind of like a purl bump on the inside. Okay? And I just continue that until I'm done. Now, what can go wrong with this? Well, if you are to get off, let's say I skip a loop. Notice how I'm skipping this one. It's going to make it slanted to one side. So about the only thing that can go wrong is that you can get off a row. Now, if it's hard for you to do this, to go in and pull those stitches off, you can, before you start, go in and run a needle, knitting needle, through all of those spots and pick them up that way. Now, the blog will have a photograph of what this looks on both sides when it's finished.